Just imagine you're a little girl, 7 years old. You live on the streets. You steal and beg by day and sleep in the sewer at night. You have no parents, no aunts, no uncles, no grandparents. Other street children are the only family you've got. Some ran away from government-run orphanages. They sniff glue to dull their pain. This is the life of abandoned children in Kiev, Ukraine. Rats don't live in the city sewers. Children do.
I love Ukraine, and I say to Ukrainians, if I wasn't English, I would be Ukrainian. As a race of people, they're phenomenal. They're strong, they're brave, intelligent, musical, wonderful artists, ballerinas, painters. If you come here, you will see the most beautiful city. It really is full of culture, and you will go, wow. But we also see the underside, and I describe it to many people as a cowpat. It looks very solid on the top until you stand in it, and underneath there's many things that aren't right, and this is where our children live, under the cowpat. Jesus taught us and commanded us really to take care of widows and orphans. He also told us that one of the most important commandments is love thy neighbour. And I believe we belong to a global family, and the Ukraine is my neighbour. When I first met my first lot of children from the Eastern Bloc, I decided to visit Ukraine and saw so much deprivation. I just thought I had to help. I have been gently led, pushed, nipped, shoved into doing what I'm doing, and I don't know how we've got to here, but it's all been God's plan, and I just followed.
New Beginnings, a British charity started in the year 2000, is dedicated to providing homes for children in crisis. By 2003, the charity had founded Genesis House, a foster home just outside Kiev, Ukraine. It's the major focus of the ministry. Once just a dream, New Beginnings has seen God provide a life-changing Christian home for Sophia, Anton, Jan, Masha, and Slavik. Genesis House is the ministry of the Church of the Holy Trinity here in Kiev. This cooperation provides Ukrainian leadership and accountability for day-to-day management of Genesis House. Sasha Donskoy, trained as an engineer, is an elder in the church. God called Sasha and his wife Olena, an experienced teacher, to be foster parents. They received special training and government approval. The Donskoy's children are grown and married, but they are now Mama and Papa to precious at-risk children. God wanted us to share our energy and experience to raise these kids. We're actually saving children's lives, physically and spiritually.
This is a safe place for children who are in risk. We plan to raise these children healthy, to give them a good education. Every Sunday we take our children to church, to Sunday school. They sing in church choir.
Sophia and Anton used to climb onto trams to beg and snatch scraps of food other passengers dropped. The children drank from a rag soaked in a street puddle. They didn't even know what a cup was.
So in March 2004, Sophia and Anton come to this home, and we start to live our new life, our life like foster parents. Sophia was 3 years old, Anton was 4. They really were so poorly, tiny, white skin, big tummy, thin legs, no hairs, no teeth. They couldn't speak.
Today, Sophia loves to play princess and has a real talent for dancing. On the streets, Anton tried to protect his sister, giving her the better food. So he's had rickets and other health problems. That doesn't stop him from being an active boy today.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Jan lived in an iron box at the public market until he was 3, and social workers believe he narrowly escaped having his organs harvested. Today, he's a fun-loving 4-year-old, though he still has severe asthma. Masha's mother abandoned her in the hospital when she was born, so she lived in a crib with very little human interaction. Today, she clings to her foster parents, but is blossoming. Slavik is an academically gifted 9-year-old. His mother disappeared years ago, and those who cared for him were often cruel. His life was filled with fear. Slavik never went to school until he came to Genesis House. Already, he reads and writes in Ukrainian, Russian, and English.
God made the world in 6 days. This world belongs to God.
But Slavik still worries sometimes that his wonderful new home is just a dream.
Конечно, дети сейчас очень изменились.
Of course, the children are very changed in character and behavior. Some were like wild creatures, fighting to survive using their instincts. Now they are good kids, most of the time, and developing socially. Here at Genesis House, the children enjoy healthy meals, including produce from the garden. They treasure family time together and view themselves as brothers and sisters. With the love of Sasha, Olena, and their babushka, Lydia, the children feel safe and snuggle peacefully in their own beds.
Thank God we have 2 of the most wonderful foster parents, because it's not only nurturing them, they have to sort out their psychological and emotional problems, which is so hard.
Olena's mother, Lydia, is grandmother to the children.
Our grandmother here is so wise, and these children adore her. And one of the children said to me, I always wanted babushka, I always wanted grandmother.
All the children receive medical care, and they attend school nearby.
Ну, Тячуня склав пісню, бо він теж маленький композитор.
The Genesis House minibus was provided by New Beginnings and its Dutch sponsors. At home, the Donskoys enrich the learning environment even more.
Their education at home is based on a Bible teaching, which is very important to us because we are a Christian organization.
The children actively attend the Church of the Holy Trinity. They learn more about Jesus and his love for them, and they're part of the church family.
Today, 3 more of our children are being baptized.
Святослав, я крещу тебя во имя Отца и Сына и Святого Духа. Аминь.
They're really wonderful children. They just unlucky to have not good parents. And they can be absolutely normal citizens of our country. And we need these children.
In Kiev alone, there are thousands of orphans and street children, and another 150,000 kids of families in crisis. Families where parents are drug addicts or alcoholics, whose children must fend for themselves. AIDS is spreading rapidly among these children because many are sexually active, and organized crime often exploits them for drug running.
These children are usually abandoned by people who just cannot struggle anymore. And we are not here to judge. Only God will judge. It's not our job. We're just here to help.
Детские дома, это интернаты, это приюты.
Orphanages aren't good for kids' health, emotions, spiritual life, or future. Even if orphans do grow up and get a profession, their marriages often don't last. They can't organize a family because they never had one, and then their children end up in orphanages. Some children in orphanages are third generation growing up there.
We built Genesis House as an example to the government to show them that children can live in a foster family as opposed to living in a deprived orphanage or a street shelter, and they can become normal, healthy, productive human beings if they're given the right nurturing in the right circumstances.
So we need to raise these children to make good parents.
And my dream is that there are no orphanages in Ukraine, because I've been in the orphanages in the Ukraine. And if you've read Charles Dickens, then magnify that 3 times and you probably will get to what Ukraine orphanages are like. And my country has never seen orphanages like that since the Victorian times. Our first child in Genesis House to go to university. Oh, please God, let me live long enough to see that. And we should give them a chance at life to live it to their full potential, to be our future, to fulfill the dreams that we can't fulfill, to make this world a better place.
Supporting New Beginnings is a wise investment in the future. It takes £12,000 per year to operate Genesis House. And New Beginnings has very low administrative and fundraising costs. Few charities channel 97% of donated funds into direct ministry. But that's exactly what New Beginnings does. While Genesis House is their primary ministry, New Beginnings also assists many other children in crisis. For example, Ilya suffers from a severe immune deficiency. Though he is 14 years old, he looks much younger. Ilya receives critical medication through New Beginnings. His mother, Alla, is very thankful, for she could never afford it.
Понимаем, что сами мы ничего не сделаем.
We understand we can't do anything by ourselves. God will help us.
He made me feel the pain of this country, of this country's children. Every small success, a little bit of that pain lessens. You don't have to go to Kiev. You can pray, you can raise money. You just give us the tools and the strength, we'll do it.